समझ में आ रहा है? ये लास्ट क्लास में हम लोग पढ़ाया थे शायद. So if you have two waves and they हेलो दिखाई दे रहा है?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
तो लास्ट क्लास में आई थिंक यही पढ़ाया था हम लोगों ने कि इफ यू हैव two waves which is out from two sources S1 and S2, okay, they have same frequency, omega is same, but they have different amplitude, A1 and A2, and their initial phase also different, phi 1 and phi 2. We know that if I want to write the wave, suppose let's say y xt, for this one I can write, let's say A1 cos omega t plus phi 1. Similarly, I can write this one, the wave coming out from S2 source as A2 cos omega t plus phi 2, something like that. So that means they have different amplitude and different initial phase, but the frequency omega is same. Okay. Now they are reaching at point P. Now we have to find out what is the resultant displacement due to this superposition of two waves coming out from A2. So now if you see, we have already calculated that this is the form of the resultant displacement at x equal to p, okay, which can be given by this Gaussian function, where a is this one, where delta phi is the total phase difference between two waves, which can be written as initial phase difference plus the path difference. And as we know that intensity is actually, you can write as a square amplitude square. So we can write down the same formula in intensity form, I1 I2 plus 2 I1 I2 plus 5. Okay. So these are the things we have learned maybe in the last class. So now what we can do from here, we can find out what is Imax. ये हम लोगों ने निकाला था.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so,
ये सब हो गया था वो.
Yes, sir. I max, I minimum is already.
ये सब निकाले थे. और कोहेरेंट सोर्स नहीं बताया होगा. ओके. So now did I plot it? Okay. So now if I want to plot this one, ये plot किया था हम लोग? नहीं किया था.
No,
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to discuss some situation. Let's say, so suppose we have two sources, S1 and S2, and this is the screen, let's say. Okay. Now we have a point P here. Okay. So now if I move on the screen from here to here, then what will happen? Okay. Actually, what will happen? If we move here, let's draw it here. So let's say this is a screen. Okay, and now this is the middle point. Let's say this is S1 and this is S2. Okay, so this is the point. Let's say the middle point. Now, if I take this is the point. Then in this point, let's say it is P dot. Okay. So what is the value of x2 minus x1? It is 0.
0.
Because if they are equidistant. Now if I take a point here, P, so that means x2 minus x1 will be less than 0. Because x2 greater than 0. x2 is not and x1 is smaller here. Okay. Like this. This is x1, this is x2. Similarly, if I take a point here, P double dot, let's say, here actually x2 minus x1 is less than 0. So that means this part, the phase difference. So what we have learned here, that I is proportional to delta phi. Okay, better to say cos delta phi. Okay, so now see, delta phi is a function. Delta phi can be contributed from two things. One is the initial phase, which is this one. Okay, this is the characteristics of the source. You cannot change during the experiment. So if I take a source S1 and S2, both sources, that means phi1 minus phi2 is constant. Okay, so now if I move from on the screen from one place to another place, what basically we are doing, we are actually changing the value of x2 minus x1. Okay, so that means the value of cos delta phi will change. That means the intensity will change. That means there will be a variation of intensity over the screen if I move from one place to another place. That means the screen will not be illuminated uniformly. Instead, you will have a variation of intensity. Maximum intensity, minimum intensity, like that way. समझ में आ रहा मैं क्या कह रहा हूँ?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that is called interference. That means, so two things. What we have to say this, that the screen will be illuminated, not illuminated continuously. Instead, you will have a variation of intensity. So before saying that, we have considered that phi1 minus phi2 should be constant. Okay, if it is not, then what will happen? Okay, so now, so that means what I'm saying that. So that means if phi1 minus phi2 is constant over a time, then you will see a interference pattern. Interference pattern on the screen. तो क्यों आपको दिखेगा interference pattern? Because if you move from one place to another place on the screen, actually you are changing the cos delta phi, and that is how you are changing the intensity pattern on the screen, which is called interference. Okay, so that's all for this part. Let us say if it is not constant, then what will happen? If phi1 minus phi2 is not constant, then what will happen? So to produce interference pattern, we saw that we need to have constant phase, initial phase difference. Now, so this is what we have already in our hand. So now, if I say that, पहले plot कर लेते हैं, how it will look like if I plot the intensity pattern. Okay. ये मैं फिर से draw कर लूँगा part में. So now मैंने क्या बताया था? So ये आपका screen है. तो S1 S2 है आपका यहाँ पे, ठीक है? So now this is the point where x 2 minus x1 equal to 0. Okay, so now this is in this point x2 minus x1 is greater than 0. So if I go down, x2 minus x1 is less than 0. Okay, so now suppose this is your screen. Say this is your screen, and I am going to draw the screen here like this. Okay, so that means I will change the path difference as an x-axis. Let's say this is your x-axis and this is your minus x-axis. Let's say this is your intensity axis. I. Okay. So let's say this is x and this is your intensity, which is a function of cos delta phi. Okay. So now we know that. So it is just the total intensity is actually I1, I2 cos 2 over I1, I2 cos delta phi. So we know that I max is actually I1 minus I2, obviously root रहेगा इनका whole square, or I mean or just root of I1 minus I2 whole square. Okay, so that means it is just a variation, cosine variation. Okay, so if I plot this one, that means the intensity will swing in between positive and negative. Okay, not positive, negative, I max and I min. So let's say this is I max and this is I min. So now अच्छा बताइए, तो अगर मैं cos लूंगा तो अच्छा बताइए, if you have cos delta phi, I am plotting here delta phi. Okay, so now if I move, so suppose this is the central position here, somewhere here, that means here path difference is 0. That means your delta phi will be 0. If delta phi is 0, then what you will get? You will get maximum intensity. So your intensity will be here. Okay. Now, if I move to pi, then it will again become 0. So let's say this is pi. Let's say this is 2 pi. Let's say this is 3 pi minus 2 pi minus 3 pi, like that. So that means it will just swing like this. Pi में 0 होगा, 3 pi में 0 होगा, like this. फिर minus pi में 0 होगा, minus 2 pi में positive, like this. So this is how the intensity pattern on the screen will look like. That अच्छा एक हम लोगों ने बताया कि अगर आप जब ये कर रहे हैं, मतलब you can change the maximum and तो मैक्सिमम कब मिलेगा आपको? When delta phi equal to 2n pi, है कि नहीं? Even multiple of pi, मतलब 2 pi, 4 pi, 0 like that. Okay, this is I max, and for I min delta phi n plus 1 into 5. Okay. So now this is your path difference and phase difference. तो ये condition है maximum minimum जो मैं phase के form में लिखा हूँ, phase difference के form में, in the form of phase difference. So we can also write this condition again in the form of path difference directly. So by using a relation, so phase difference equals to, we know that 2 pi by lambda into path difference. ये अगर फॉर्मूला आप यूज करेंगे, यू कैन चेंज द फेज डिफरेंस टू पाथ डिफरेंस. So path difference will become path difference. Let's say it is your delta x. Okay, क्या होगा? And let's say this is delta phi. So lambda by 2 pi into delta phi. So this is your relation. So now I can change this. अच्छा, ये इक्विवेलेंट, ये फेज डिफरेंस है डेल्टा फाई इक्वल टू 2n पाई. तो इक्विवेलेंट पाथ डिफरेंस कितना होगा? तो इफ आई वांट टू चेंज दिस वन, तो कितना होगा? ये आपको कितने, ये डेल्टा फाई आपको पाथ फेज डिफरेंस दिया गया है. तो इफ यू वांट टू फाइंड आउट, सो यू हैव टू जस्ट मल्टीप्लाई लैम्डा बाय 2 पाई. सो अगर लैम्डा बाय 2 पाई से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे तो यू विल गेट 2n लैम्डा. ठीक लिखा गया, लैम्डा बाय 2 पाई ना, 2 लैम्डा बाय 2 होगा ये. दैट मींस n lambda. Okay, so that means if the path difference is integral multiple of lambda, then you will get maximum intensity. Similarly, if I change this one in the form of path difference, क्या होगा? So it will become, just you have to multiply 2n plus 1 और इसको into pi, इसको मल्टीप्लाई करना है लैम्डा बाय 2 पाई से. So if you do so, you will get 2n plus 1 into lambda by 2. इसका मतलब है, so you will get delta x equals to क्या होगा ये? So n plus half into lambda. मतलब है, so this is what? This is a, where is n? N where n equal to, in the both cases where n equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 like that. Obviously plus minus, both the cases. So plus will signify this part of the screen, minus will signify this part of the screen. So now, उसका मतलब क्या है? If you have a integral multiple of lambda, okay, n is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that, then we will get maximum intensity. And now, so this is 1 plus half, let's say, so that means 1.5. So it is not an integral multiple. Okay, so if you have fractional multiple of lambda in terms of half, you will get minimum intensity on the screen. So these are both are true if you, because there is a relation between phase difference and path difference. So that is how we can do it. So now the next thing what I'm trying to say, so if the phase difference is not, initial phase difference is not constant, then what you will see in the interference pattern, we can mathematically calculate it. Okay, समझ में आ रहा है अभी? हेलो?
Yes, sir.
तो हम लोगों ने अभी कुछ देर पहले लिखा था कि so what is delta phi? So that means where delta phi, the total phase difference between two wave at P, which is given by phi 1 difference phi 2 plus k into x2 difference x1. That means, so where actually this is delta phi is the decisive parameter for having an interference pattern on the screen. Now, what I'm trying to say, that this part for interference pattern, so for producing interference pattern, actually interference pattern तो तब भी प्रोड्यूस होगा, maybe we can say static, not dynamic pattern. मतलब over the time, whatever pattern you are observing, it should remain same. So instead of saying just interference pattern, let's say static interference pattern. So phi 1 minus phi 2 is to be constant. So what is phi 1? Phi 1 is the initial phase of the source 1 or S1, and phi 2 is the initial phase of source 2 or S2. So that means if they maintain this condition, we call the source, the pair of source S1 and S2 are coherent in nature. They are coherent. They have coherence in nature. Okay. So now, what is the meaning of that? That means it will not change. So that means if I want to write it, that means we have fixed phase, क्या बोलते हैं इसे, fixed phase difference between them. Okay, fixed means it is not changing as a function of time. Now this is, it's called coherent source. Coherent source. Okay. So it's a coherent pair of source. Now it can be done similarly. So if I say the phi 1 is constant, it is not changing of time, then we call S1 is a coherent source, singly coherent source. Okay. Similarly, if I say phi 2 is constant, which is not changing as a function of time, in that case you can also say that S2 source is also a coherent source. So now, if phi 2 minus phi 1 minus phi 2, the difference, whatever you are getting, is constant as a function of time, then we say that S1 and S2 are coherent pair of source in nature. So to produce interference pattern, you need this. So now if I say that if phi 1 minus phi 2, okay, let's say this is delta phi, is actually a function of time, that means it is changing. जैसे अगर suppose जब start हुआ, suppose उसका difference था, let's say 2 degree, फिर कुछ देर बाद 3 degree, कुछ देर बाद 0 degree, इस random भी हो सकता है, कोई मतलब relation भी maintain कर सकता है. Let's say if you have a random correlation, there is no fixed difference, then you can say that delta phi is actually function of time. Then if it is so, then we say that S1 and S2 are non-coherent sources. So that means अगर ये होगा तो क्या होगा, अगर if you say that this delta phi, this portion, this is, let's say this is delta phi, okay, so this is not constant over time, okay, So if we move on the screen from here to here or here to here, we know that this part is changing, okay, and this part is constant, okay. So now if I say that, suppose let's say initially delta phi equal to 0, okay, at some point of time. So that means in the middle position we will get delta phi equal to 0, so we will get I max at this point, okay. So now if I say that I'm some point after 10 second or 20 second, delta phi is not 0, so it has some value, let's say 20 degrees, then you won't see the maximum pattern here. So that means if it is not a function of time, if it is a function of time, then the pattern which is producing over the screen will not be static, it will become dynamic. So if it is dynamic, then if you want to calculate what is the total intensity at a particular point, so you have to take time average out of it, okay. And we can find out that if you take a time average, then what will be the resultant intensity at a particular point, and we will see it will become 0, okay. No, not 0, it will become constant illumination, okay. And we can do it very easily by just reproducing the same calculation with a very simple assumption. We can do it. So now, so if you have not coherent sources, that means you have S1, you have S2 here, and you have a screen here, so they are meeting here somewhere at P. Now what we will do, we will take very simple waves just to show that if you have a non-coherent sources, okay. Let's say S1 source is actually emitting Y1 light, S2 source is emitting Y2 light, okay. So let's say Y1 equal to A cos omega t. There is no phase, initial phase is 0, okay. And let's say Y2 equal to A cos omega t plus, let's say it is theta. That means what is the phase difference between these two sources, A, Y1, I2?
Theta.
Theta. Now what simple assumption we have made from the previous one? Here we have taken the intensity or amplitude are the same from the both sources, and the phase difference is theta, and how we have taken this difference, 0 and theta, that's all. So now we are saying that we are considering the theta is not constant. The difference theta is not constant, is a function of time. So that is why Y1 and S1 and S2 are non-coherent sources. Okay. If theta constant hota, then we could have said that S1 and S2 are coherent sources. So now we know that the resultant amplitude Y, okay, which is Y1 and plus Y2, which is actually superposition principle, and we can do it very easily. So A common लेंगे तो cos omega t, ये हम लोगों ने शायद क्लास 2 में किया था theta. So now we can do it very easily. So ये cos A cos B का जो लगाएंगे तो ये आपका हो जाएगा 2 cos क्या होगा ओमेगा t प्लस थीटा, तो आपका ओमेगा t माइनस चला जाएगा तो थीटा बाई 2, ओके, एंड cos, और क्या होगा ये लेंगे तो होगा cos ओमेगा t 2 आएगा तो घट जाएगा ओमेगा t प्लस थीटा. So this is your resultant amplitude at P. So now this part is actually your amplitude. Okay, this is the final displacement. Final displacement, and so this part is your phase part of the displacement, and this is your amplitude part of the displacement. So now we know that intensity क्या होगा? Intensity is amplitude square, so it will just become 4a square cos square theta by 2. So now what is A? A is the intensity of each wave, amplitude of each wave. So that means we can write this one as 4 I0. I0 is the initial, let's say the initial intensity is square equal to I0. This is the initial intensity of the each sources. So now this is cos square theta by 2. So this is your intensity. So which is actually, since theta is function of time, that means I is also function of time. So it is dynamic. So now if I want to take what will be the resultant intensity at some point, then we have to take average, time average. So average intensity, average dynamic था, average static अगर हम लोग निकालेंगे, static average intensity जो आपको दिखता है आपका जब हम लोग आंखों में देखेंगे तो at least we have to take the time average of 1/10 second because that is how our eyes work. This is our time sensitivity of our eyes. Now that means we have to take average is actually IT. So that means ये तो 4I0 तो कांस्टेंट है, बाहर आ जाएगा, तो cos स्क्वायर थीटा बाय 2 का आपको लेना पड़ेगा टाइम एवरेज लेना पड़ेगा आपको। कौन सा टाइम में लेना पड़ेगा? सो यू हैव टू टेक ओवर ए टाइम पीरियड। कॉस फंक्शन का टाइम पीरियड क्या है? 2 पाई और थीटा बाय
Intensity, sir, then in intensity I is equal to 4I not cos square. It is theta by 2 or it is A by 2? And confusion.
थीटा बाय 2 सब थीटा बाय 2 है।
Okay.
सब ए कहां से आ गया? You follow it.
Sir, actually, it is not looking clear in both. So that's why I was
follow
asking.
the shapes. There will
Yes,
be
sir.
no confusion. Maybe yeah, there is some confusion, but it should not be. If you follow it. So now, suppose we know what is average. So time average means if you have a quantity, let's say if you have a function ft, suppose if you have a function f equal to ft, and you want to take a time average of ft for a time period, over a time period is the time average लेना पड़ेगा. So let's say from t time period में आपको लेना है time period. तो t time period को we can divide in any time, any duration. 0 to 2 t कर सकते हैं, t by 2 to t by 2 कर सकते हैं, okay, like that way. तो ये टाइम पीरियड है. तो हम लोग जो एवरेज का फॉर्मूला है, so ft, if you want to find out average, then you have to take a integration maybe 0 to t. अगर आपके पास कोई और फंक्शन है, इवन फंक्शन है, then you have to change the duration in different way. So it's better if you use this one also, minus t by 2 to plus t by 2 ft dt divided by minus t by 2 dt. So this is how we can take average of any quantity, time average of any quantity. That means minus, so it will just give you 1 by t. So this is, will give you t, 1 by t integration minus t by 2 to t by 2 ft. Okay. So now this is the average formula. So now we have to take the average of cos square. We have to take average of cos square theta by 2. We have to take this one. So just you put in the formula here. ये कितना देगा 4 pi a0. तो यहाँ पे आपका cos का क्या है? Cos का है 2 pi है. So now we can divide 2 pi like this. Pi 2 pi. Okay. Then you have minus pi plus cos square theta by 2. Okay, this theta. So this is your time average. So if you do so, you will get this one just half. This one, if you perform this integral, you will get half from here. So 1 by I0 into half equal to 2 I0. So what is the So what is the implication of this result? We have got here actually. So that means the average intensity at a point is actually 2 I0. So that means I0 plus I0. What is the meaning of that? So that means suppose if you have a screen here and you have one source of light S1 and if the intensity of the source is I0. Suppose if I switched on this light, so you will get a illumination like this, continuous illumination of intensity I0. Okay. So now we switched on another source of intensity I0, then what will have? You will just add up the intensity with a continuous distribution. Illumination intensity on the screen will increase I0, switch on one source, another source. You will get no pattern, no variation of intensity. So that means you won't see any static interference pattern. No static interference. समझ में आ रहा है? हेलो?
So S1 is equal to I naught and S2 is equal to I naught, then there is no static interference.
Yes, इसका मतलब क्या है? एवरेज इंटेंसिटी जो है वो जैसे घर में क्या है? घर में आपका सीलिंग में 2 लाइट है सपोज, ओके? आपने एक लाइट जलाया सीलिंग का, ठीक है? आप देखें कि आपका फ्लोर में इल्यूमिनेशन हुआ है और एक लाइट जलाएंगे तो इल्यूमिनेशन इंक्रीज होगा. But you won't see interference pattern on the floor जो हम लोग S1 S2 के लिए देख रहे हैं, क्योंकि हमारे घर में जो sources of light है they are not coherent source. That means their phase difference delta phi is not constant over a time. So if you take the time average, at least what we have in our eye, you won't feel anything. There is an interference pattern, but our eye cannot detect it. So that's why we call it, at least there is no static interference pattern. Obviously, dynamic interference pattern will be there. Maybe the pattern is changing over 10 to the power minus 8 second duration or something like that. So fast, our eye cannot detect it. So that is there will be interference pattern obviously, because this is the proof that okay, there is an intensity variation. But that intensity variation is so fast that if you take the time average, So it just gives you the perfect illumination. So no variation. Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Now, मैं छोड़ देता हूँ आज, ठीक है? Tomorrow we will start a new topic maybe. Okay, another thing. जो मैं tomorrow के लिए बताता हूँ, जैसे मैंने बताया कि suppose if you want to have interference pattern, suppose, so you need to have a screen here to observe the interference pattern, and you need two source, okay, which has same frequency of sources omega, and their difference may be okay, no problem. अच्छा ये बताया था मैक्सिमम कॉन्ट्रास्ट कब होगा?
नो सर.
जैसे मैक्सिमम कॉन्ट्रास्ट मतलब क्या है? जैसे मैंने ये प्लॉट किया ना, जैसे आई मैक्स और आई मीन, है ना? तो इसके बीच में ये स्विंग कर रहा है ना, मैक्सिमम मिनिमम के बीच में. अगर ये मिनिमम 0 हो जाएगा और मैक्सिमम रहेगा, तो मतलब अगर मैक्सिमम तो मैक्सिमम ही है, मिनिमम इंटेंसिटी अगर डार्क हो जाएगा कंप्लीटली, देन यू विल हैव ए मैक्सिमम कॉन्ट्रास्ट. तो मैक्सिमम कॉन्ट्रास्ट आपको कब मिलेगा? जब दो इंटेंसिटी जो इंटरफेयरिंग लाइट है दोनों इंटरफेयर कर रहे हैं, अगर इफ देयर इंटेंसिटी इज सेम और एम्पलीट्यूड इज सेम, देन क्या होगा? आई मीन इक्वल टू क्या है? रूट ओवर ऑफ I1 माइनस रूट ओवर ऑफ I2 का होल स्क्वायर, तो 0 हो जाएगा. आई मीन क्या है?
Yes, sir.
आई मीन a माइनस a1 माइनस a2 का होल स्क्वायर है ना. अगर ये दोनों सेम हो जाएगा तो इट विल बिकम 0. तो मैक्सिमम कॉन्ट्रास्ट के लिए यू नीड टू हैव इक्वल इंटेंसिटी और इक्वल एम्पलीट्यूड ऑफ द इंटरफेयरिंग वेव. तो ये सब छोटे छोटे चीजें हैं. तो जो मैं कह रहा था, तो दो इंटेंसिटी का लाइट चाहिए और दोनों दे मस्ट मीट एट सम पॉइंट. दैट मींस दे विल मीट ऑलवेज इफ they propagate in the same direction. अगर opposite direction में जाएगा तो कभी नहीं होगा. And another जो important thing है, suppose इसका अगर initial phase phi1 है, इसका initial phase phi2 है, so that means phi1 minus phi2 must be constant over time. ये होना चाहिए. Otherwise, you will say you will get dynamic interference pattern, and you cannot see the pattern if you have a dynamic in nature. So to get a static interference pattern, you need to have constant time, constant phase difference, initial phase difference. That means constant. Yeah, initial phase difference must be constant over time. So that means you have to make constant phase difference, phase relationship between two independent sources. So now it has been seen that it's very difficult to have constant phase relationship if you are doing the experiment with a two independent light source. तो मतलब अगर आप सपोज ये एक लाइट, ये एक कैंडल है, सपोज S1 सोर्स है और ये एक कैंडल है, ठीक है, ये S2 है. ये तो इसका जो फेज डिफरेंस है phi1 और इसका phi2 फेज डिफरेंस है. तो देखा गया है if you have a two independent source, phi1 is not constant. Okay, it is actually phi1 is also function of time. Okay, similarly phi2 is also a function of time. So that means independently two source, they are not coherent independently in nature because their initial phase constant nahi hai. They change over time because the mechanism they follow to emanating light, actually it is an atomic origin. If you have an atomic origin of emitting light, so atom has a actually dynamic transition, dynamic nature light transition is about 10 to the power minus 8 seconds involved between electron from one level to another level. जो भी हम लोग incandescent property देखते हैं, it is a atomic spectra of a atom inside that material. So that comes from electron transition from one level to another level, and this transition actually is so probabilistic that its time duration changes over 10 to the power minus 8. So that means ये initial phase अगर एक का suppose एक टाइम में 0 था, 10 to the power minus 8 टाइम में वो चेंज होके दूसरा कुछ हो सकता है, फिर again 10 to the power minus 8 टाइम में एक दूसरा हो सकता है. So it is kind of pulsive nature like that. So now suppose ये इसका एक pulse train ऐसा है और इसका एक pulse train ऐसा है. So how can you make a difference delta phi between them which should be constant over time? So it is very difficult to produce a coherent pair of source by using two independent light sources. So instead of using two independent light source, we can use one light source and we can divide it in two by several manners. In our case, we will use two method of producing two sources from one. So there are two methods. One is called division of wavefront, another is called division of amplitude. So that means what I'm trying to say that two independent sources cannot produce coherent pair of light. So that means you need to, जैसे दो लाइट लिया तो मैं ऐसा कर सकता हूँ, जैसे तो दो मेथड है. So we can have division of wavefront and second division of amplitude. Okay, these are the two methods by which you can produce two source of light from which you can achieve interference pattern from one light source. So one is called division of wavefront. We have one example, Young's double slit experiment, and in here this case we will use thin film इंटरफेरेंस. तो इसमें और कुछ नहीं है, हम लोग नेक्स्ट दिन जो है तो सपोज वी हैव अ सिंगल सोर्स and you can split the single source in by using division of wavefront and division of amplitude. So for an example of division of wavefront, we will discuss Young double slit experiment tomorrow, and for division of amplitude, we will use thin film interference, and for example, there is an experiment called Newton's ring experiment. ये हम लोग करेंगे तो ये चैप्टर खत्म हो जाएगा. So tomorrow we will take the example of division of amplitude by using Thomas Young's experiment. Okay, bye. See you tomorrow.